exit interview.
So I am Grace and I am joined by Franki Riley, the current sports sabbatical officer. So first of all, it's a bit more of a chill interview. So I just wanted to ask, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good. It's a bit weird, like seeing all of it going on and being like, oh yeah, I remember that. And also, how have we got here so quickly? It feels like it was August, like yesterday.
It does.
And it's just like,
that.
oh my God.
Yeah,
it's been the fastest year. I don't understand.
Is it? Yeah, it has for me as well. But I guess that's good. It shows that you've been doing loads of things. You've been up to lots of things as well. So the first thing that I want to ask you is the future with Franki. That was the name of your manifesto last year, if I'm correct in saying so. So I guess being in the future now, a year on, can you say that what you had imagined or what you set out to do has, as sports president, has actually materialised and actually sort of happened?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. And I think that's kind of run of the mill with most of these roles, is that a lot of the time you pick up things and things happen that you don't anticipate for. So cost of living has obviously taken over all of our areas. And I actually think sometimes that gets missed, where people think sports and think it doesn't have an impact. But we've been working so hard on how can we make sports more affordable? How can we help the clubs out? Like, transport costs are going through the roof. And there's all this kind of background work that you kind of pick up. And I think in many ways, actually, when I kind of started the future with Franki, I knew certain things I definitely wanted to work on. And then those all kind of added up into much bigger things that I've realised I want to work on. So sexual violence is like one of them. And I'm so happy with the work that we're doing in that space. The discounted gym memberships. Oh my God, that was such a big win. I was so glad we managed to do that. There's been longer pieces of work, well-being in sport, accessibility and inclusion in sport, that I always knew were going to be more ongoing. And maybe I'd want to be slightly ahead of where I am now, but it's also the reality that we're in a home roses year, and that takes a lot of work. And so it's just, I've had to reevaluate, relook at timelines and maybe push things back a little bit. I've still got 5 months to go. And the future with Franki is very much still on the cards.
It's still alive. It's still alive.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you mentioned a lot of the things that have sort of come about with, you know, your time being a sports sabbatical officer. What is, if you could put it down to one, what is the thing that you're most proud of? There might be, it's a very difficult question, but if there was one thing that you could say that you're most proud of, what would that be? I
think it probably would be actually my work on sexual violence. Sexual violence in sport is a really, it's becoming an area of sort of growing concern, and things are basically starting to come out of the woodwork. And I know from my own personal experience, there's a lot more there. And I don't just mean in the York context, more widely. And we obviously had Sexual Violence Awareness Week last week, and I've been trying to put a few events on and things across the year, and it's been so difficult. It's a really difficult topic to engage people on. And then we did the relay on Saturday, and it was just absolutely incredible. And just seeing people getting invested in it. And we announced Survive as our charity partner, and the Shine a Light theme for Roses. And suddenly all of these things that were in my head that I'm like, genuinely think we can make sport safer for people. And it's just that kind of knowing sort of what happened to me. I've shared it publicly on Instagram and things like that. But being able to go from my first experience where I was told, no, there's nothing you can do about it, and then now being in a place where I'm like, not only do I know what I can do about what happened to me, but I'm doing something about it for other people as well, is very powerful. And it's challenging, because in some days I'm like, yeah, I can do this, I can smash through it, other days I'm like, I can't go anywhere near this right now, I'm not in the headspace for it. So to be able to keep going and deliver on a lot of that is, I'm very, very proud of that.
That's brilliant. That's so good to hear, especially as someone, you know, I play college sport as well, so it's really, really good. But we've got about, 40 seconds left. Yeah. With all the highs, there does come lows. Yeah. So what are some of the challenges you've faced? Just to wrap up really quickly, what are some of the challenges, and how do you think the future sports sabbatical officer could go about these challenges?
Challenges, I think one of the biggest challenges this year was the start of the year of club social media. We had to host an emergency meeting to basically nip some things in the bud. But that was a proactive approach that most other places wouldn't take. So I was, again, really proud of that. You've just got to remember, like, people look to you as a role model, and you get to set the tone and the culture.
That's brilliant.
Go for it.
Thank you so much, Franki. We're going to have to end there. We're now heading over to Studio Red.